But when you define your avatar, you're going to say something like it's a 42-year-old male.
To acquire apartment buildings, we need capital, right?
True.
I've heard that you've developed a reputation for being able to raise capital. This is something a lot of us folks in the industry struggle with at first. I know there's going to be mindset, but there's also going to be systems in it, and it looks like you've created a system that can attract capital. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. I feel like the best way to start the conversation around capital is this thing called an avatar. So if you're on the call right now, or even if YouTube right now, I want you to write this down, especially if you've never heard it, avatar. And it doesn't mean a blue person like that one movie. It doesn't mean that it's an identical image of you. The avatar that I'm talking about here, it really means that it's your target client. It's the exact replica of your perfect client. And in our case, if you're raising money, your perfect client is really an investor, a passive investor. So like, I want you to have an IIA. Write it down, IIA. That means that's something that I coined, right? So everybody calls this thing ICA. Ideal client avatar, but for you, you're wanting to raise money. So you need to be thinking about the ideal investor avatar. That's really the main step. And once you kind of really understand who that is, and this is where we go outside of politically correct, because when you're thinking of your avatar, you are thinking about race and gender and religion and location. Like people, it doesn't mean that you don't have all sorts of people that end up investing with you. But when you define your avatar, you're going to say something like it's a 42-year-old male Indian engineer with 2 kids who's invested passively in 3 deals already and has more than $1 million left to invest. They're worried about XYZ. You know what I mean? You really want to hone in. And what that means, it doesn't mean you're racist or genderist, sexist. All it means is that you're going to put a name to your avatar. You're going to name him or her John or Carla or whatever. Once you have that, you can start creating content that Carla wants to hear. And you can go to the places where Carla is going to be. And you can just, every time you start to make content or decide how you're going to reach out to someone like Carla, you're going to think, would Carla like this? Would John like this thing? And so, my avatar, he has a name, Siva. And I basically told you all about him, and the last thing that I didn't say is that I can have a beer with him. So what I mean by that is, in my case, my perfect avatar is I go to a multifamily event. You're going to have a different avatar. I go to a multifamily event, and if I'm getting along with somebody who is very similar to my avatar, of course, you don't always find a perfect exact, but I might just say, hey, do you want to go chat? Do you want to go and talk? Sit, maybe we could grab a drink or whatever. If we can sit and have a beer, I know that if I explain to Siva, that's my avatar's name, if I can explain to Siva what my team does, I know that my avatar, Siva, is going to divert the money that he was putting at all of these other passive investments. He's going to divert it to mine. So I have coaching clients that I help find their avatar and brand themselves and go to the next level. And I want to say that what I generally recommend to them or to you listening is that your avatar is not going to be Siva. Like, we don't have to fight each other or box each other out. There's more money than there is deals. So whenever you find out who your avatar is, maybe it's a 40-year-old single mom with 2 kids that just got an amazing amount of money, whatever, like maybe you're figuring that out. And that's a completely different person that would be wanting to invest with me, but you resonate with them. You know, you resonate with him or you resonate with her. So the point being, Benoit, as you share that raising capital is important, we want to think about it in steps toward the process and really focus on who we're attracting. Because many people, they say, Adam said I should have a podcast. So they just randomly make any kind of podcast, but that podcast title, the name, the guest that you have, the questions that you ask the guest, the intro, it doesn't resonate with your avatar. So your avatar's not even benefiting. What I see that happening with a lot of people is you're spending time doing literally nothing. You're going nowhere. It's like a treadmill, right? It's like you're taking all this extra time and attention to put something out there, but it never gets to the right person because you didn't take a step back and really think, who am I attracting? What do they want to know? Where are they going to go to find it? What questions do they want to know? What if they're scrolling through podcasts? What title are they definitely going to go to? If they're scrolling through meetup groups, and I'm trying to be a thought leader within meetups, what will they end up hopping onto? Do they want virtual? Do they want in-person? Do they want to learn how to protect themselves as a passive investor? Do they want to learn how to protect, how to have wealth preservation, right? Like we might think that we're helping our perfect avatar when we say, well, I'm helping people learn how to do multifamily because that's what I invest in. But if we're not helping a passive investor, our perfect avatar, Siva, go from where he is to where he needs to be, then we're wasting time and effort. So I just want to start there. Find your avatar.
That makes so much sense, and it's kind of like starting a business without a vision, I think, right?
Yeah, exactly.